great to be back at NOAH. It's actually the fourth time that I'm here. It's a pleasure to be here. But this time, rather than recycling the slides that I used last year's, I want to make today's presentation about impact. Impact is basically what is driving us as a company, us as founders, but also the team at auxmoney. So I want to share with you the journey that we had so far, the impact that we have already made, but also the impact that we are having for the future. Let me start with our vision. So we at auxmoney believe in a world where every person can achieve their goals. It's not just about the money, it's about the dreams that we bring to life with that. That's our vision, that is our ambition. And in order to fulfill and deliver on that mission, it means we have to be able to grant credit to a wide range of people, broad access to credit. And in 2016, we received, I would say, the first major validation that we are on track to deliver on our mission. It was the Deutsche Bundesbank who said that auxmoney is serving people that are basically wrongfully rejected by banks. People that banks are unable to serve, people that banks are unwilling to serve. And Deutsche Bundesbank validated that. A few words about who we are and why we have been able to come that far. Basically, the two main ingredients in our model to be able to grant wide credit access is to be able to have an efficient model, and the second thing is to have a superior credit risk assessment. Let me start with the model. As you can see, we are a marketplace. We bring together borrowers and lenders, and we match them. We take out the bank as the middleman, and with that, we have a very efficient allocation of capital. So the capital comes directly from the source to the recipient. The second element is the credit scoring. And with that, we knew that in order to be able to grant more loans to more people, we had to look at people differently. And I'm going to come to that. A few words about us. We are based in Düsseldorf. We are just about 200 employees, most of them working in product and tech. We have what we believe is the leading credit scoring in Germany by combining the hundreds of data points that I just talked about. We have the best known, GfK has proven that, the best known brand among consumers of the fintech brand. We are well backed by investors, and we have very strong and sustainable growth. This year alone, we will be generating in excess of €500 million of new loan volume in Germany. I often get asked, what were the key ingredients to get where you are today? What were the key milestones? So you have to imagine, when we started in 2007, it was a very different time than it is today. There was no iPhone, or I think the iPhone was just invented. The term fintech didn't exist at the time. And clearly there was no NOAH conference. So what we had to do at the time is really disrupt what was the way of lending at the time. So we knew that, and the vision that we have today was true already then, that in order to be able to have wide credit access, we need to do things differently in terms of business model, in terms of data, and in terms of credit scoring and credit underwriting, which are the key elements in our business. So we created the first digital lending platform, and we put everything into question. Everything, the traditional way of lending that existed at the time, we questioned everything. And the key element at the time was that we looked at more data, at different data, at better data than the traditional way, the traditional lenders, the banks at the time. And it's basically in that creation phase that we set the foundation for what we call the unfair advantage that we have today when it comes to credit scoring and underwriting. The next phase was the phase of innovation, where based on the data of phase 1, we have been able to introduce our credit scoring. And we had the first validation of that it's working, that at the end of phase 2 in 2014, the first institutional investors have come on board deploying capital. So we bring borrowers and lenders together. So for the first time, it wasn't just retail investors. We added institutional investors. That was just starting 2014 on the back of a very predictable credit score that we had developed at the time. Then growth accelerated. We received more and more funding on the platform. Aegon, a Dutch insurance company, invested or committed to invest 1.5 billion. Growth, as you've seen in the chart before, accelerated. And with that, we became the leading marketplace in the entire Eurozone. Let's move on to the more fun stuff. Looking ahead, where does the business stand today? Despite the strong growth that we have seen, the business turned profitable at the beginning of this year. We now have very strong visibility on future funding, which is a great asset to have. And we're working hard on expanding into the next credit segment. And that will be what, in the next few years, will drive us, which is expanding into additional credit products within Germany and also going internationally. And next year, we estimate we'll be approaching 1 billion of new loan volumes alone in Germany. So our ambition is to become the top 3 credit provider in Europe. At that time, we will be serving in at least 3 additional markets in Europe. We will be generating in excess of 5 billion of loans. And clearly, we will continue to have the most relevant credit offering out there. As we are running out of time, I won't talk about how we approach credit risk, but let me end quickly on what we call economies of data, what's special about our particular business model, and also the way that we all as a team love that particular model and what we do so much. The beauty of that is that the longer our track record continues to be out there, the more data we have to prove our ability to assess credit risk. With that, investors are reducing their expected return, and that leads to always better and cheaper interest rate, which is a great thing for our customers. With that, I will end, and thank you very much for your attention.